Nothing to separate Manning and Harkema, the two Americans at the top of the standings after round 13 of this 18-round season. So, and of course, Tom Lightbody only 5 points back. It wasn't a great result for Actonese, that one, was it? Actonese now dropping to a 27-point deficit, and with it all to do to make up that points gap. Well, wellity well, as they say. It is torrential rain for round 14 of this FRS TCC Championship, and it is, as has been said in chat here, Mr. Reverse Grid Pole himself, Gurkan Actonese. We think that's the 4th time this season he's earned the Reverse Grid Pole. He's at the front. Conor McDermott in second position again, and then it is Lightbody, Manning, Kriegli and Harkema, those who had their positions reversed. The big loser, you have to say, at the end of that first race was absolutely Lewis Williams, who was in 6th position and would have been on for reverse grid pole. Lost out to Actonese at the final corner on the final lap, and then found himself starting P7 when it could have been P1. So hopefully this time, we've had one wet race in Zandvoort where some of the cars went for slick tyres and others went for the rain tyres. Hopefully this time, all of the cars have gone for the rain tyres and everyone's learned their lesson, because those that were on the slicks in Zandvoort in the wet conditions did not have a good time. So, it's wet. The rain tends to mean shambles. As we get underway for the rolling start here, we'll come through the left and through the right. And it's Actonese in the Subaru Colin McRae rally-inspired livery. That's the blue on the left side at the front. McDermott in P2 again on the right. And then it's Lightbody and Manning just behind. Row 3 is Kriegli and Harkema as we come up towards the line. We are green for round 14, and McDermott quite a long way back. Manning is the one who's dropping back in the field here. He's had a really poor start. Got Harkema on the outside. McDermott's going to look to sweep around the outside in turn 1. Manning's run a little bit wide here, and Krigli's got through. Harkema now, those two, remember, Manning and Harkema tied on points in the championship. Oh, and there's contact, and Harkema's been spun around. What happened there? That's a huge moment in this championship. I think it involved Booth. And Harkema getting tapped out of shape, running into Lewis Williams. And both cars sent spiralling off the circuit. Meanwhile, up at the front, McDermott's taken the lead from Gurkan Actonese, and Krigli's in there as well. Kriegli with yet another magnificent start, but Conor McDermott leads this race. Look at Lightbody on the inside. So lots of drivers using plenty of curb there as we come across the chicane for the first time. Here's Manning getting involved. Losing out to Booth as they come over there. I think Manning was out of shape, so Booth's now getting up the inside of Manning, who's got the indicators flashing, and Manning almost runs into the back of Lightbody. Booth has to run across the curbs, but now Manning's off the circuit, and they're both losing out to those up ahead. But McDermott now leads. Manning and Booth making contact there as they come through the right-hander. Well, what a dramatic start to this race. Booth to the inside, sending it on Joe Manning, and they're going to bang, and Dog's going to spin around Manning. And the top two in the championship have both been facing the wrong way on the opening lap, and Manning spun it around again, and Harkema's come through. What is going on this opening lap? Well, would you believe it? Harkema in turn 2 dropped all the way to the back. That was advantage Manning, and now Manning all the way to the back. Well, we've completed lap 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the replay back here to the start. I just want to see what happened. So we're looking at Booth behind. This is on board with Harkema. Oh, okay, so Booth and Williams come together, and Harkema's the entirely innocent party there. Look at that one again. So yeah, it's Booth on the left here. Booth and Williams come together. Williams gets out of shape and runs into Harkema. Well. And then it's Booth that's involved in the incident with Manning again towards the end of the lap. We'll just run that through. So Booth sends it on Manning here as they come into the right-hander. That's all clean. Manning keeps out of the way. There's a little bit of contact there. And then Dog runs into the back of Manning, who, as he tries to recover the circuit, spins around again, doing the full 720. Well, I mean, what unbelievable drama. And look at this up at the front. That was at the end of the first lap. McDermott and Carigli both off the circuit. Was that just too late on the brakes? Yeah, totally on his own. McDermott and Carigli both running just way too wide. Completely off circuit there. Well, it's carnage on the opening lap here in Zolder. So this is the start of lap 2. We are quote-unquote live again. McDermott leads from Actonese. Lightbody's now up into 3rd position. Carigli losing out there. Booth is 5th. We've got Dog, I think it is, in 6th position now. And then it's Sumner and Hofstee in 7th and 8th. Well, I need a moment to catch my breath. I mean, it's FRS F1 Spa Division 5 all over again. When I'm on my own, it always gets dramatic in the rain. Carigli, it must be said, does seem to have a lot of confidence in these conditions. Going very, very well so far. Looking to the inside of Lightbody. Nothing happening there. There's a bit of contact in the braking zone. Just about got away with it. I think Lightbody wouldn't have been pleased with that one. But Carigli was such a good run. He's going to just drive straight past the Scotsman and up into 3rd place. There's a gap now back to Dog. Of course, Dog and Sumner and Hofstee would sort of ran towards the back earlier on. We've got the recovering Harkema in 10th position under pressure from Williams. And then this is Manning recovering, trying to get past Raymond De Boer. And De Boer still learning these cars and learning ACC. So just letting that one go. Of course, these will be incredibly difficult conditions for the rookie. It looks like Brad Spitt is in the pit lane and out of this one potentially. And then Garley all the way towards the back as well. Not sure what happened there. McDermott leads, Actonese in 2nd. Well, I was just saying, wasn't it, before this race started, there's McDermott cutting all the way across. McDermott inventing his own circuit here in Zolder. Cutting all the way across the chicane. Is now going to try and give up the gap to Actonese. But I think Actonese is going to have the run as they come down towards turn 1. Yeah, the Turkish driver's on the inside. And Actonese takes the lead. I think that's very fair from McDermott, giving that one up. Although Actonese and McDermott have both run off the circuit. And Carigli leads. What is going on? Oh, and now there's a huge accident there between Booth and Lightbody. It is complete shambles all the way through the field. So it's now Carigli from McDermott, from Actonese. And I mean, I think there's 15 different interpretations of the Zolder circuit going on as we race here. Harkema and Williams are ahead of Sumner in the background. Booth is now up into 4th position, with Actonese in 3rd. And I mean, Booth was lucky not to spin around Lightbody earlier. Now he's looking at Actonese for a place in the top 3 here as Booth. And then, oh, what's happened here? Carigli's lost the lead to McDermott. So McDermott's taking the lead back. And in the background, here's Booth up into 3rd place. I'm on the flippin' replay mode where I can run it back and I can't keep up with this. Here's Carigli and McDermott for the lead. Carigli on the outside, McDermott on the inside in the blue car. Carigli again able to stick it round. He's got so much confidence around the outside there. There's Hofstee in the background running a bit wide in the Gamma Groningen car. So Carigli retakes the lead. Can McDermott actually do this final chicane this time? Yes. Well, just about yes. It was Carigli that was closer to running off the road there. Booth now 3rd. Actonese in 4th position. And Lightbody doing his best to keep out of trouble, but trouble seems to be coming to him at this stage. In the background, Harkema's now 8th, with Williams in 9th. They've both cleared Sumner, and McDermott looks to the inside as Carigli runs wide. So we've got 2 cars wide here as we come down towards turn 2. Carigli's going to hold this on the inside. McDermott looking for the switchback in the wet conditions. Carigli's on the curb. And McDermott is through and retakes the lead. What incredible action here in Zolder. And this is allowing Booth to catch up. We're looking backwards from McDermott now as they come down the straight. How much curb dare you take in the chicane? The curbs are so big there. And Keregley's got a great run. He really does have so much confidence in his opening TCC race here. You can see him in the wing mirror. McDermott's hot into the chicane, but he's good enough, and he's a bit slow in the left, and now it's all bunching up once again. And oh, and he's been bumped around. Oh, it's carnage! Well, it's an absolute disaster for the front two. They're both facing the wrong way, and Actonese takes the lead. So I think what happened there... Well, we'll go back and have a look in a moment. But Booth on the outside, Actonese on the inside. The stewards are going to have an absolute field day dealing with this one. I think what happened was Keregley turned McDermott around and then got off the gas, almost feeling guilty for doing so, and then just proceeded to get turned around himself. Light body to the inside of Booth. We've now got Dog up in 4th position. Hofsty in 5th. And Hark, who was last coming out of turn 2, is now back up in the 6th position. What's going on in the background? That's Joe Manning coming through. Manning's ahead of Sumner. And here's Hark having a look at Hofsty. Hofsty doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence, but is in 5th position. Just keeping it out of trouble is the best thing you can do here. So Actonese leads. Where's Dog gone? Dog's dropped down the field. So I think Dog might have been off in turn 1. I'm going to run back and look at that McDermott incident again. So you can see, just as they come, McDermott's slow out of the left. Keregley gets the run, but then proceeds to just bump the Scotsman round. He hits the brakes. Essentially, he wants to concede the position to McDermott, but he hits the brakes basically in the middle of the straight in front of all the traffic. And proceeds to just get turned around himself. Just complete carnage here. Here's Manning. That's Manning alongside Seal. So Manning's now recovered up into 9th position. And McDermott, you can see in the background there, is running in 12th place. Here's Hakima up in 5th. He's cleared Hofsty. Williams is coming through in the background there as well. Up at the front, Actonese leads from Booth. I mean, Booth, who every time there's been a shambolic incident, Booth's been involved somehow. Whether or not it's been his fault each time is very hard to say, but he's certainly been in the mix every time there's been stuff going on. So Hakima's now 4th. From the back, that's Hofsty getting out of shape on the grass there. And losing out to Williams. Dog having a look to the inside as well. I mean, I don't know who's where. Brad Spitt is out of this one, sat in the pit lane. Safest place to be right now, I would very much argue. So again, Williams was also right at the back after the first corner incident. Is now up into 5th place, running a bit wide there in turn 1. Up at the front. Booth taking the lead. Booth on the inside of Actonese. Booth leads this one. Although it's certainly not done. It's a watching brief for Tom Lightbody just behind this, and Hakima is catching them up. Hark is considering the old last to first challenge here. Actonese looking to the inside of the chicane. And there's going to be contact, surely. No. They've just about left enough room, but now Lightbody's involved. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Into the next chicane. This is lap 6. Booth's very deep. Very, very deep into there. But to be fair, so is Actonese, and Lightbody might be able to claim the moral high ground here, because both drivers ahead of him have cut the chicane. Did they gain an advantage? Lightbody's there, and Lightbody is through, but look at Hakima now. Harkima's sticking the car there on the inside. Actonese going to run the long way. Boof's a bit wide. Boof's going to lose some time there. But Harkima's actually got great pace and he's going past Actonese. That's Hark up to third from the back. Oh, and Actonese has gone deep. It's a drive-through penalty for Gherkin Actonese. I can only assume that's for track limits. So Actonese has to serve a drive-through. Just when you thought there wasn't enough drama in this one. So a drive-through penalty. Drive through the pit lane with the pit lane speed limiter on. Raymond de Boer's also got a drive-through penalty. And of course you lose out to everyone who's going past at full racing speed. So that is a real disaster for Actonese. So hard to recover from a drive-through penalty in a 20-minute race. Harkima, meanwhile, has taken light body. I'm going to run back and have a look for that one. So here we go. On the inside. As we come up to turn 3. What a recovery this has been from Harkima. And with Manning down in 8th position, this is, if it stays like it is, if it gets better for Harkima, this is going to be the championship lead. It must be said as well, Williams has recovered up to 4th place. And look at this in the background. Look at all of this. Oh, it's absolute bedlam in the chicane. Let's run that back very quickly. So there's Dog and Hofsty. And Kriegli gets into Manning. And Dog gets on the curb and Hofsty runs into him. And that sends Dog into a spin. And Kriegli drives through all of them. This fight continues. They're all too late on the brakes. Manning does the best job there. So Manning's going to have the moral high ground. We're into the point of moral high ground now. So they've all cut it. Manning going through. McDermott's received a drive-through penalty now. Which again I can only assume is for track limits. To keep Hark happy, here is that whole overtake. So he's setting it up in turn 1. I assume we're going to see a switch back into turn 2. Yes, we are. So switch back and then the inside line on the high ground for turn 3. Very well set up, Hark. Well, there we go. We're going to do at the end of the lap. So it's Booth from Hark from light body. And Williams is sort of in this fight as well. Just hanging on at the tail end of it. That's your top 4. Still got a good 4-5 laps to go. I'm going to run out of voice by the end of this. Look at this in the background again. Manning's recovered up into 6th place. Who's that going slowly in the background? I think that might be Reichelt. McDermott's in the pits to serve his drive-through. Looks like Seal is up and running again. I think Reichelt might have just made a mistake in the final corner. So, no issues there. But the gap at the front now shown as just half a second between Booth, who's never won a TCC race, and his teammate, Harkima. This is the two teammates in 1st and 2nd position here. Well, is the team owner, Harkima, going to be on the team radio to his teammate, Booth, to say, hey, we need to let the guy in championship contention through here to maximise points, or is Booth going to want to win? Booth's driven well here, though he has been involved in incidents. He's kept it pointing the right way. But it's also worth remembering that Booth was involved in a fight with Williams in the early part of the race, which sent Williams to the back. And I'm now looking at Booth and Williams in the same camera shot. The same thing can be said of Harkima. And Harkima's going to look to the inside at turn 1. No, not quite. Lightbody seems to have a great run. Booth's off the circuit. Booth's gone wide, and Harkima takes the lead. The last to first challenge is complete. Well, what a story that is. But can he hang on? Because Tom Lightbody is still there. So Harkima's done the hard work. But he's done the hard work with a few laps to go left here. He's now got to defend the position. And Lightbody seems to have a bit more speed there. Coming through the chicane. We're coming over the hill. Treacherous in these conditions. This one would normally be pretty much flat out. Little lift there from the race leader. The championship leader-elect, as it were. But not if Tom Lightbody's got anything to say about it. And Lightbody looking very, very racy here. It's his usual trick of keeping out of trouble and being in the high point scoring positions. Can it be a win for the Scottish driver? So difficult not to make a mistake in these conditions. So difficult. Manning is only 6th at the moment, but to be fair, has also come from the back. Further back, it's Reichelt in 8th, Sumner in 9th, and Dog in 10th position. Dog was as high as 4th in this race until that contact with Jasper Hofstee earlier on. So Hofstee in 7th position now. Roughly in a race of his own. Oh, and Lightbody's gone backwards. I've pointed the camera away at the wrong time. Would you believe it? I think Lightbody's gone deep into turn 1 here. Yeah, far too deep into the gravel. And it's allowed Booth through. And Williams through as well. Williams is going to stick this around on the outside. So what's proven to be a good day for Harkima gets even better. Been a brilliant drive from the American. So it's Booth in 2nd, Williams 3rd, Lightbody 4th. You can see Carigli and Manning there in the background are in 5th and 6th position. For all the praise we're giving Harkima, Williams has come from the back to a current podium place. Well, there's Manning on the inside. Manning on the inside of Carigli getting the move done. That's a great move from the Team KRO driver. But the fight isn't done because Carigli wants to answer back. Carigli's off the circuit now. Just about to avoid that barrier that sticks out there, but he's all over the place, the German. Drive-through penalty for Dog is the latest one. So lots of track limits penalties being picked up here. The rain still tumbling down here at Zolder. We've got, I think, this is going to be the final lap of the race. So Harkima starts what I think will be one more lap. With Booth in 2nd. And then Williams and Lightbody. This has been one of the races of the season. It's not done yet. Harkima seems to have checked out at the front. And Manning also seems to have dropped Carigli in 5th position now. So Manning hanging on to what will be decent recovery points. But considering how the race played out for Harkima to be up in 1st place, it's just astounding stuff. Has overtaken everybody in the field. Can Booth hang on to what I think would be a first podium of the season? It's an American 1-2 and a British 3-4. Yep, Scottish is British. Don't at me. Look at this from Williams. I mean, we could have a situation where the two that went off in the first corner, and that was an incident that involved Booth, are on the verge of finishing 1-2 in this race. If Williams can find a way through. Booth parking it on the apex. No chance of a switchback there. It was good defending. And it looks now like Booth will hang on. But Harkema leads as we come into the final left-right chicane for the final time. Williams isn't able to send it. But for the second time, and unbelievably from the very back, Harkema wins again. In TCC, what a drive. What an absolutely stunning drive. Booth is in second. Williams is third. Lightbody fourth in the end. And Manning hangs on for fifth position. Well, all you can say is wow. Wasn't that something? Reichelt gets a season's best 8th position. Another great result for the German there. Just ahead of Sumner once again. And then Garley comes across the line in 10th ahead of Actonese. McDermott will pick up P12. And then Dog and De Boer, who also serve drive-through penalties. 13th and 14th respectively. Well, that was what you call a race, I would say. I had no idea where to point the camera for large parts of that. So De Boer crosses the line to finish proceedings here. And well, what a race that was.